Joining us here at the 6 o'clock hour, I'm Alicia Lewis. Jason has the morning off. If you are going out anywhere today, maybe bring a light coat. John, what is it, still 32 degrees?
Yeah, yes, it is. Thank you. I can't do that, obviously. It is a little chilly out here. We're going to talk about a nice afternoon. 49 still and sunny. But as we go to tomorrow, we'll talk about rain. We've got still some active weather here. Just haven't seen any snow. Every day I look in, I always look for the white stuff and when it can come. I don't see it yet. I'll just start with that. 32 degrees right now. The winds are starting to show up here. Typically, the temperature will bounce a degree or two once the winds start to show up, so we'll see if that happens in the next hour. Doesn't matter. You're not going to notice it. I just play fun games here in the Weather Center. 29 in Alexandria, 31 in Brainerd, 32 in the Twin Cities. So temperatures, they have bounced in St. Cloud. They were at 27. So they're starting to warm up, but it's coming off of a cold start, so it doesn't really matter. You're seeing the high pressure here. Notice the winds are increasing as you go west. So we are going to have a very breezy day, especially from areas like Wilmer, Alexandria, St. Cloud. It's a little bit cool this morning. Keep the coats handy. And then the afternoon starts to warm up here. Upper 40s. Nice day with some sunshine. We'll track that rain in your forecast. Cece, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Seeing some stop and go in Roseville after a crash. It's on Highway 36 westbound near Cleveland Avenue. A semi is off on this right shoulder, but you see that the right lane is still closed. It's been that way for at least 30 minutes. You see backups forming because drivers have to merge into this left lane. So if you take this way on 36 and you drive toward Lauderdale or Minneapolis in the next 20-30 minutes, I would add at least 15 minutes to your commute just to get past this lingering backup. I'll let you know when things clear up, but definitely add some extra time. Alicia?
Yikes. Thanks for the heads up, CC. Appreciate it. We are following some breaking news right now out of the Uptown neighborhood in Minneapolis. Just hours ago, police cleared the scene at two locations just blocks apart. This is video from Aldrich and Lake Street in front of a parking garage by the old famous Dave's. Forensics was on the scene. We also saw blood on the ground. The other scene was just 2 blocks away and around the corner on Lyndale and Lake near Lynn Lake Brewing. Police were laying down evidence markers near a bus stop. Our photographer also saw bullet casings on the ground. No word yet on if these two scenes are related. We do have calls into Minneapolis police for more information. Well, we need to fill up this morning. We are seeing prices below $3 a gallon in the metro. The state average now more than 30 cents less than the same time last year. Michelle Beck is live in Forest Lake with all of the details. Good morning, Michelle.
Yeah, good morning to you, Alicia. You're going to love this if you live here in Forest Lake. Take a look at the price here at this holiday behind me, $2.57. Compare that to the state average of $2.95. All that well below the national average here. You can see in this map from AAA, gas prices do vary a bit around the state. Hennepin County around $3.05, Ramsey at $3, and Anoka at $2.91. Well, think back to a month ago when we on average paid 19 cents more per gallon in Minnesota. This is part of a big scale dip in prices. Gas Buddy says the national average now is the lowest it's been in more than 3 years. So $2.57, and definitely fill up on your tanks if you get the chance to today. Again, here in Forest Lake. Well, coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to talk about what could be driving, right, these prices, plus what the new presidential administration could mean for how much we have to pay in the future. All that coming up, Alicia.
All right, we'll check back soon. Thank you, Michelle. Another story we're following that could have major impacts on your wallet. Medical debt is being wiped away for tens of thousands of people living in St. Paul. Audrey Russo is live in St. Paul breaking down a plan that's been nearly a year in the making. Good morning, Audrey.
Good morning, Alicia. Yeah, that's right. And now 32,000 residents are waking up with a little bit less burden. They can breathe a little bit easier. And that's because $40 million of their medical debt has been erased, all according to a plan that was outlined by Mayor Carter in his 2024 budget proposal. This was last year's budget proposal. And at that time, based on our reporting, we found that the average St. Paul resident had about $1,500 in medical debt. So Mayor Carter promised to pay that down using $1.1 million in pandemic relief funds. So here's what they did. City officials partnered with a national nonprofit called Undo Medical Debt. That nonprofit took the pandemic relief funds and started going to local health care systems and buying debt portfolios for pennies on the dollar. They then went through the information, identified folks based on income who qualified, and then sent those residents a letter saying, congratulations, your medical debt has been erased. So $40 million in medical debt is now off the table. This still falls a little bit short of the mayor's initial goal, though. The initial goal was to relieve $100 million of city residents' medical debt. So coming up, we'll have a little bit more on that. Plus, we'll talk a little bit about the math, because if you're thinking to yourself, $1.1 million in pandemic relief funds, well, how does that equate to $100 million in medical debt? Well, again, we'll talk a little bit more about the math coming up in 30 minutes. But for now, Alicia, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Audrey. We'll check back in 30 minutes. Well, busy day in Minneapolis as well. At 10 o'clock this morning, the city is hoping to hear from residents on the mayor's proposed 2025 to 2026 city budget. They'll vote on its adoption on December 10th. Then this afternoon, the city council will be discussing the city's response to the shooting case involving neighbors Davis Maturi and John Sawchek. They'll also review the after-action final report from the 2020 civil unrest. We're getting a live picture right now from Washington, D.C. as lawmakers return to Capitol Hill this morning. They're facing a hectic lame duck session following an extended election recess. Congress has about 5 weeks to pass a funding bill to keep the government open. Another pressing concern is this fiscal year's National Defense Authorization Act. The House and Senate have separate versions on the table and need one that can pass both chambers. Congress also faces pressure to approve more disaster relief funds after Hurricanes Milton and Helene.